Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Piofiore, and we are going down. Whoops. We're going to go do Nicola's bad endings. Oh, whoops. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Why is my thing? There it is. I expect the joysticks to work, and they just don't. So bad ending, chapter 6, with low affinity and low honesty. Nicola, chapter 6, yes. Alright, so we get to skip everything. Alright, so there's going to be lots of skipping, so we just gonna... Oh my god! No, I'm just kidding. I gotta be honest, I really kind of dig the soundtrack. And oh, my favorite! Best boy is here! Stay silent. Aside from that, has the area been properly secured? Yes, of course. We're doing our very best to ensure no sensitive information is leaked. They continued speaking as I tried to decide whether to give him my name. A state-operated casino working with the Mafia. I'd hate to see what would happen if the public were to find out. It's really funny that he's got the Shiraishi voice, but actually Nicola is voiced by the Shiraishi voice actor. But then again, it's also technically the Lupin voice, sorta. It's kind of spiraled out of control. It's not exactly the same, but... Lupin's voice was a little more exciting, kind of like Elk Creed. And then you have Shiraishi, which is a little more tame. Then it's a variation of the Lupin voice, technically. So, anyway, that makes sense. The Italian government wouldn't just let it go. It would also deter tourists from coming to the casino. I assume the men from each family have only the best standing guard. If so, I believe they'd be more reliable than the paltry security I can offer. As long as everyone's eyes are open, the meeting tonight should go swimmingly. Yes, well, as long as nothing happens, we'll be good. The music was like... tuk, 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 tuk. Yes, we are supposed to skip. I just want to make sure that we... I just want to make sure that there's no weird, like, all of a sudden there's one in there that wasn't there before. I don't think there is. Don't kill him! We're like, ... Don't kill Roberto! We're like, I think it's funny that us not standing up for him is like, that's gonna get us shot. He's gonna be like, you didn't stand up for me. Weird. Their argument was starting to heat up. Amid the clamor, I couldn't seem to take my eyes off Roberto. Something doesn't feel right. I felt a dark cloud of nausea churning inside me. Roberto was still being held by security, but he was still glaring at Nicola and the others with bloodshot eyes. The odd scene made me feel like something bad was about to happen. No, we're not going to die now. We're good, because we wouldn't have started in chapter 6, plus we have 2 saves that we have to go back to. What are you saying? What in the world are you saying? Fear suddenly came upon me. What he was saying was beyond the scope of my understanding. He shot his gun in public, out of nowhere. His behavior was obviously unusual. I thought Roberto was simply a bit stubborn as a member of the police force. I knew that he didn't like the Mafia and he was just doing his job, but I finally realized that what I thought about him was completely wrong. Roberto isn't sane. The indescribable fear gave me chills as I contemplated the oddity before me. I'm gonna guess we don't go. We haven't scrolled down in the guide, but in chapter 8, I'm thinking we get to chapter 8 and it's don't go. Back, skip. Okay. I saw what was going to happen. I thought I was the only one who saw what Roberto was going to do, so... Even so, what you did back there was wrong. There's nothing to gain from sacrificing yourself for the sake of someone else. That's not true, Nicola. I wouldn't have done it for anyone else. I did it because it was you, Nicola. I saw you were in danger, which is why I did what I did. You better still kiss me, goddammit. Okay, good. You better shove me down and kiss me. I like it a little rough. Okay, and then that one happens automatically, so there's nothing we can do about it. Alright, and this is when Yang's like... Oh, no, Chapter 8 is... Well, Chapter 8, again, is totally different. Chapter 7 might be different, too. Insipidol. I don't think Chapter 7... Oh. Who are we? I walked along a path I knew very well. Whoops. Whoops, what am I doing? Ever since the Mafia deaths, my men have kept reminding me not to step outside alone. But that was precisely why I needed to walk out here. Who are we right now? I don't know who we are. Huh. Alright, anyway, but that was precisely why I needed to walk out here. The citizens were looking on as bystanders, but they feared the casualties would soon fall upon them. The blessings the Mafia bestowed on Barlone came with its risks as well. I'm wondering if we're Dante, because this is like, you know what I mean? The moment conflict surfaced, it was possible that the people here could be dragged into it. If I didn't step outside, the people would think the danger was imminent. It sounds like it is. Living my life as I usually did, even if doing so put it at risk. That was what was needed now. It sounds like it's Dante, but I don't know. Okay, well now I know we're Dante. But that didn't, you have no idea, it's like monologue, and you're like, I know we're having a monologue, but who the fuck's monologue is it? Like, sorry, I could have read that, I'm sorry. Domenico died in the police station, and could the murderer be someone on the force? But ever since his death, there's been no movement by the police or the Mafia. It's really weird that there was a monologue as opposed to, like this, done like this. Could it be someone unrelated? If so, finding that person won't be easy. But the enemy's being cornered. The Mafia's on high alert, so... What was that? What's going... Ah! The man fell to the ground, blood gushing out of his body. Ah! The blood spread along with fear, and people all began to scream. More gunshots were heard. Someone's firing in public? And people were running frantically. I was like, when I heard the gunshot, I'm like, oh fuck, Dante's dead. I couldn't find the shooter. Could it be from above? Hide inside! Don't go near the windows! I looked above me while instructing the citizens to find shelter. The sun was still up. I squinted through the bright light. Ah! A young child tripped and fell in the empty street. He must have been separated from his parents. A shot ricocheted next to the child. My God, Roberto, the fuck? It's Cazzo! I had no time to think. I rushed to the child and brought him into my arms. I ran toward the alley and... Oh my God, did he actually kill Dante? Why am I looking at the sky? Oh my God! Roberto, you fucking bastard! I thought it was bad when you killed Margot! Insipido. I think this is a totally different Chapter 7. This one ending might be longer. This might be longer than our good ending! Word spread immediately across Barlone. It can't be. He trembled with shaky breath. I could tell he was distressed. Oh no! Dante is dead? No, are you sure? It must be a mistake. I got the information from a reliable source. It's on the front page of the newspaper. This can't be happening. Words couldn't express the shock. I couldn't even fathom what Nicola was going through. Okay, like, to be fair, in Dante's good ending, Orlok died. Yeah, we killed Yang, but like... I can't be mad that you killed Yang in any other routes, because he's like an asshole. I don't care if I love him, right? You know? But Orlok died to protect us, and that was kind of... I mean, I know this is a bad ending, but it's still like... Why do you kill my boys? I mean, it's a bad ending, so I expect everyone to die, but... Oh, it kind of hurts. No words could comfort him now. Nicola, I'm sorry about what... It's fine, Gilbert. I don't need your condolences. Nicola? Nicola nonchalantly interrupted Gil and slowly drew his gun out. The barrel was pointed directly at Gil. What? Hey! It's no time to be joking, Nicola! You do remember why I joined the Visconti, don't you? To get rid of the Falzone family? That's only part of it. You're missing an important piece. He spoke coldly through an oddly formed grin. I wanted to get rid of Dante's position as boss of the Fell Zone. My goal is through now that he's dead. So why are you pointing your gun at me? What's going on in that head of yours? What do you think? Nicola, please put the gun down. What are you thinking? I mustered the courage to speak up amid the tension in the air. For a second, I thought he was pointing the gun at me, and I was like, whoa, what? I figured we were going to die, but not by your hand. The hell? I tried to step in between to stop them, but... Are you crazy? Move away! He pushed me with all of his might. I fell to the ground with a thud. Smart, Gilbert. Oh no. Gil grabbed hold of his gun while kicking a chair at Nicola. Nicola should have just shot. Nicola, if you were going to shoot him... Oh god. Nicola dodged the chair and stepped forward with his gun in position. In a flash, Gil drew his gun out and... My scream didn't escape my lips. I closed my eyes. We still have a whole chapter after this. I didn't hear any gunfire in the lounge. What's happening? As I slowly and carefully opened my eyes, dread washed over me. Gil was holding his bloody chest while glaring at Nicola. I thought we just said we didn't. I didn't hear any gunfire. Huh. And here I thought that was for decoration. Blood trickled from the corner of his mouth, but soon he coughed it up violently. Gil! Before my scream ended, Gil slowly crumpled to the floor. Nicola wiped the blood from his knife before placing it back in its sheath. Jesus Christ. I kept it in case of a situation like this. It dawned on me what happened. The gun was a decoy. Nicola drew Gil's attention to it and stabbed him. Unable to fathom the intensity of the situation, I gazed blankly upon Gil's body and then at Nicola. Why did you... I let out what little words I had in my mind. Jesus. The drama and the bad endings. Nicola looked at me for a short moment, then sighed. The Foul Zone won't accept me back in if I didn't bring them a gift. What do you mean? You're planning on going back? I have something I need to do with the Foul Zone now. Oh my god, he's gonna become boss. Holy shit. I need to return to the Foul Zone family, no matter what. So, I killed Gilbert. That's it. What do you need to do? Revenge. Nicola turned to me and slowly began to walk. I don't need you anymore. But you love me! I closed my eyes in fear of the death that loomed over me. I could only hope he would do it painlessly. With death imminent, it was all I could manage to think. Strange. I didn't feel any sort of painful impact at all. All I felt was... a dry hand patting me on the head. Oh. Huh? I was like, you love me! Why are you gonna kill me? I opened my eyes to see Nicola's face right in front of me. Go back to the church. Your work here is done. I didn't know what to say. I was more shocked at his expression than at the words he said. His eyes looked so sad. What I saw in them wasn't hatred. Within those cold eyes, I could see only despair. Wait, Nicola! I instinctively reached out and grabbed the hem of his jacket as he moved away. I can't let Nicola go. I won't go back to the church. What? Did you hit your head? And Gilbert... Oh. Gilbert did rough you up there. Oh, right, because he shoved us. I was like, what? His words were cold and without emotion. I didn't think he was even listening to me. Still, I can't let Nicola go. Not like this. Please, you have to take me with you to the Foul Zones. I'm worried about you. I want to be with you, Nicola. I just killed Gilbert. I killed someone who was supporting me. Yes? I still can't believe it. I don't want to believe it. I'm a murderer. I betrayed 2 families. I can't forgive you for killing Gil, but please, you have to take me with you. I can kill you anytime I want. I'm honestly scared of you, but I don't want to leave you alone. Hearing my plea made Nicola sigh deeply. You're like, but I love you. Weird place to be. I can't forgive you and you scare me, but I love you. Unbelievable space. Suddenly, clamor could be heard outside the lounge. I heard people nearby. Is Gilbert still talking? Of all the times! I wonder what they're talking about. He did mention to give them privacy. Nicola's like, that look on his face is like shit. Nicola glared at the door, then looked in my direction. You'd better keep up with me. I'll be fine. I forced myself up with trembling arms. My legs were shaking, making it difficult to stand. No, I need to stand. Here. Nicola grabbed my arm and pulled me off the ground. He told me I needed to keep up with him. And still, he was helping to support me in this moment, because he loves you. Nicola's ruthless side killed Gil. Nicola's kind side helped me. I didn't know which was the real Nicola now. He's both. The Falzone was in a stir, seeing us arrive at their manor. Nicola, what are you doing here? Does this mean this was the boss's plan all along? Is that what Dante said? No, he didn't say anything about you. Ever since he told us to leave you alone, he hasn't mentioned you at all. Which was why I thought there must have been some motive to your actions. If Nicola really betrayed us, then the boss would have made his move. But if it was a plan all along, I wish he would have told us about it. No, the boss made the right decision. Keeping the plan secret was a good move. After all, if it had been revealed too soon, Nicola would have been in danger. Nicola closed his eyes and mumbled as the men came to their own conclusions. I see. And Dante didn't say anything. Nicola's expression didn't change, but I could tell he was close to tears. He didn't, because he's like realizing, like, Dante was trying to protect me. After a brief pause, he slowly raised his head, showing a newly found resolve. I came for vengeance. I came to show hell to those who killed the Falzone family's boss, Dante. Nicola's words brought a renewed vigor to the salon. Everyone looked at Nicola with expectation and hope in their eyes. I need a report on her status. Yes, a boss was attacked in Falce along Vesta Avenue. Some civilians were killed as well. It looks like someone sniped from above. I'm like, I really hope Nicola doesn't bust up in here and need revenge and, like, kills everyone in here, because I'll be like, if you hurt Leo, I can't love you anymore. I can't. Snipe? If it was the mass murderer, the attack would have been from behind, right? Yeah, so we believe it could be unrelated. It could also mean that the perpetrator resorted to precautionary means. And the bullet extracted from Dante's body was a 7.62 54mm R? Don't know. Like, okay. And the weapon used was probably a Soviet-class Mosin Nagant? Nagant? I don't know. Look, I don't know guns, okay? I know I live in America, but I don't fucking know guns. Alright? I've seen members of the Lao Shu use that weapon before. Because Roberto would have gotten it from Yang. Or Yang might have had someone do it for Roberto. But I bet it was Roberto still. His words had the salon in an uproar. It seemed like that it was news to everyone. So the Lao Shu killed Dante? Hearing my words, Nicola slowly spoke with a menacing voice. And then it's simple. We kill all the Lao Shu. We'll hunt down every single one of those rats and exterminate them. I want to avenge the boss's death. Let's go now. Calm down, Leo. We need to prepare first. And before that, I want to give Dante a proper funeral. This is so sad. Like, it still doesn't hit me that he's dead. Please don't. I do not want a funeral. I do not want to go to Dante's funeral. I don't want to do it. You're right. We need to respect the boss's life. Look at Leo's sad face. I can't look at it. Leo nodded as his tears spilled out. I can't look at Leo's fucking pained face. That's literally gonna make me cry. It was then I noticed some members looking at each other. Nicola, I have a favor to ask. I'll do anything if it means avenging Dante's death. Nicola would do anything, like he said. I slowly closed my eyes as I recalled Gil's bloodied body. Good. I propose you become the next boss. That probably came as a surprise to Nicola. I could tell his breath was caught in his throat. You're the only one here who can lead the Falzone family now. That's right, Nicola. I'm sure the boss would want that to happen. I'll follow you to the ends of the earth. He's such a boy. Leo, but I didn't come back here because I wanted to be the next boss. Nicola forced out a smile, to which the executives quietly shook their heads. But with the boss, with Dante gone, you're the next person in the Falzone bloodline. Please, Nicola, for us and for Dante. You have to carry the family now. Nicola looked down as if he were in pain. He then hesitantly looked up. This is like an amazing bad ending. It's like fucked up and I'm sad Dante's dead, but I kind of actually like what they did here. Like Nicola's gonna take over and just become a ruthless son of a bitch. It's kind of fucking interesting. Fine. I'll assume all responsibility. I'll be the next boss. The men in the room all cheered at his acceptance. It's kind of interesting. See, we're still dating a boss. Poor Dante just had to die. Everyone praised the new boss and vowed to follow Nicola to a brighter future. This is the tragic ending. Of course it's tragic. Dante's dead. Spacey, back to the church. We need to start a new war. And we'll be fighting to avenge Dante's death, so you don't need to be here. Nicola tried to put distance between us, but I looked straight back and replied, I want us to hear. Even if you don't need me anymore, there must be something I can help with. Please, Nicola. Nicola narrowed his eyes in disbelief, then gave a deep sigh. You're like, I fucking love you, just love me back! Fine, do whatever you like. His words granted me permission to stay here. I breathed a sigh of relief. I just have to find a way to help support Nicola through his grief and suffering. There must be something I could do. I think part of it, too, it's not that he doesn't love you. He's like, get back to the church. I don't need you. It's like, well, because actually, I don't know what chapter we had our... No, well, we had our makeout session. So we kind of already admitted our feelings, sorta. Because that happened after Roberto. But, like, so we kind of know his feelings, our feeling. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's like, you're useless to me. It's just Dante's dead. He feels terrible. And now it's one of those, like, pull back. He was already like I'm in a bad spot, so I can't tell you I love you, you know? Like, that's already where he was. And then this happens. He's like, nope, gotta chuck out everything. Don't have time for this. Gotta avenge Dante's death. And just the thought in your head that if they kill Dante, then if I fall in love with you and I let that happen, I admit my feelings, you're gonna get hurt. And that's just gonna... He's like, walls up. So he loves us. He's just pushing us away. Doesn't mean he's ever gonna open back up again because of all of this. But... And that'll be the tragic. We'll be like, I'm standing here pining for you and you don't love me back. Even though you do inside, but you refuse to show it. Sad. Anyway. There must be something I could do. But it's sad because you're almost like, you're just hanging around a guy who doesn't want you. But he does want you. He just doesn't want you to hurt and he doesn't want to hurt. Hey, look, Faye's not dead. It's fun. And that's all I have to report. I see. Interesting. It seems the Falzone had members who were in support of Francesca all along. So Francesca's supporters came together to make him their boss. And that aside, I didn't think Redford would die so easily. Was that your plan too, Yang? No. In fact, I expected the opposite. I believed Redford would kill Francesca, seeing he was no longer of any use. And then he'd go to war against the Falzone family. Looks like you were wrong. They're gonna come and kill us now. It's rare seeing you miss the mark like this. Are you getting old in the head? What's Yang, like 20-something? Jesus fucking Christ. He's like fucking 10-year-old kids. I ignored the giggling twins and thought about what would happen next. I also didn't expect Falzone to fall so easily, but for Francesca to have taken action like this... He's much more threatening than he looks. I know, right? He's so pretty and docile and gorgeous on the outside, and he's just like, angry little kitten on the inside. Kitty's got claws. Interesting indeed. And this is gonna be fun. I cannot wait for Yang's round. Huh? Why are you laughing, Yang? I thought things didn't go as planned. I'm gonna miss fucking Leo, though. I'm gonna miss Leo. We're never gonna know Leo. We're gonna have to get to know these two, and they're not the same. You're not the same! Even the two of you can't be... Two of you doesn't make up one of Leo. Two of you together's half a Leo. I just love him so much. Being able to see the future unfold as you planned is boring beyond belief. The warring's gonna continue. It looks like I can play a bit longer now. I'll give you some time, until you gain full control of the family. I have great expectations of you now. I can only hope that it'll entertain me more than the departed Falzone. Oh yeah, because he's pissed. He pissed! This is the longest bad ending. This is longer than the good ending! It's amazing! Well, I looked at the closed office door with a number of thoughts crossing my mind. Yesterday we came back to the Falzone so that Nicola could speak with the members. Once he finished talking, he went straight into the office and hasn't appeared since. I can only imagine if you got to this point. You'd be like, is this the good ending? Doesn't feel very good, Dante dying. You didn't know if you weren't using a guide. He showed up for breakfast this morning. I couldn't help but worry about him, but I couldn't barge in without good reason. I just have to wait until he opens the door. Ah, perfect timing. The door to the office suddenly opened. He looks at me without a hint of surprise. I'd like a cup of espresso. Could you bring one by? Yes, of course. I'd appreciate it if you could make it real dark. I need it to clear my mind. He still looked tense. Aside from that, he's no different from his usual self. For some reason, I felt very uneasy. I saw how he reacted when he heard about Dante's death. The deep despair that was in his eyes was nowhere to be found. I kept looking at the door. A few minutes later, I went to the kitchen with a bad feeling about the situation. Julia, are you around? I hesitantly stepped into the kitchen to prepare the brew. Julia? I called her name again. A short while later, she appeared. Oh, she's been crying, hasn't she? She looks so sad. Yes, I'm here. Is there something you need? I saw her this morning at breakfast. She seemed fine then and was acting like she normally did, but the Julia in front of me looked pale, as if she'd just been crying. Her eyes look watery. Oh no, you don't start crying about Dante. I'm not going to be able to handle it if Leo and Julia break down. They're such good, soft people. I can't help it. Don't make the good people cry. May I borrow the kitchen for a moment? I wanted to brew a cup of espresso. Not knowing what else to say, I decided to say why I came down here. I can only imagine how hard it hit her when Dante passed away after so many years of caring for him. Oh, yes. Please help yourself. Thank you very much, Julia. You're not going to make a cafe latte? No, Nicola asked me for an espresso. That's right. Young Nicola always asks for a strong espresso. I suppose he enjoys the bitterness. Quite the difference from young Dante, who preferred having his with milk. Julia's shoulders drooped with exhaustion and let out a deep sigh. I could see tears welling up despite her closed eyes. Julia, I'm so sorry for what happened. I couldn't continue talking about it, seeing how weak Julia was now. I know I shouldn't be sulking like this in front of everyone, but I still can't believe what happened. After all the years I've seen him grow. Julia forced a weak and sad smile out of her face. I'm not going to be able to get through this if she keeps being sad. I'm not going to be able to do it. I know his father may not like what I'm about to say, but I loved young Dante as if he were my own son. Oh, God. Damn it, Julia. This fucking sucks. Julia, the only thing consoling me is that I can work for young Nicola again. I am so happy he's returned. I knew he wouldn't betray us. And he never got into fights, so he wouldn't have possibly left without a reason. Yes, you're right. I let out a smile, too, as I filled the cup with espresso. Julia, would you like a cup? How thoughtful of you. It smells so good. I gave my first brew to Julia, who tried her best to keep even a weak smile on her face. Now, please do hurry and take a cup to young Nicola. Yes, and Julia, please don't push yourself. Everyone would be devastated if something happened to you. Oh my God, right? You and Leo, nothing bad can ever happen to you. Look, I'll handle the, oh my God, you killed Orlok, but he was defending us and he was doing his job, and okay. And then like Dante, what? Well, I can't believe he's dead. I don't think I'd be able to handle it. Marco is still a little unbelievable. What? Roberto, you killed Marco. But Julia and fucking Leo? I know they work for the mafia, but they're innocent fucking souls and they're good people. And she's gonna make me fucking cry if she talks about Dante being her son again. Jesus! Like, it was close. I did not cry. I didn't. I will admit fully when I have ugly tears. But let me tell you something. It was close. It's like, I'm gonna have to fight this back a little because I'm gonna get a little misty. If she talks about it one more fucking time, I don't know if I can handle it. I would too, of course. Why, thank you very much. Young Nicola's so very lucky. He has such a sweet, gentle girl like yourself by his side. I'm not doing her voice right. I wasn't sure how to respond. All I could do was smile back. Well, I'd better get going. Oh, it's Dante's office, but it's Nicola. And thank you. You can just leave it there. Nicola smiled and thanks me for bringing the espresso to the office. But he immediately went back to looking through the documents on his desk. Unable to make conversation, I placed the cup down and hastily made my exit. That's when you just, like, tousle his hair a little. Pet him. It's okay. Whew. I sighed as if it had been a huge task. There wasn't much I could do now. I suppose I should be happy just having been able to see him. He thanked me with a smile. That odd feeling I had when he asked for an espresso, I was feeling that again now. It's madness. You're like, I don't see the despair in your eyes. No, because I'm gonna get revenge. You're like, oh God. I walked down the hall with my head down, back to the kitchen to return the tray. I saw a shoe right down in front of me. Oh, it's Leo. I was like, oh God. Leo, buongiorno. Buongiorno. A nice day today, isn't it? It's pretty cloudy outside. Oh, well... I can't stand it. I'll be straightforward with you. Can I ask you something? Yes? Leo was a lot more forceful than usual. Why aren't you going back to the church? Well, I didn't expect such a question from Leo. I decided to question him in return. Why do you ask? Well, you were like any other civilian before you came to us. And it's not like you have ties to the Falzone. Most girls would try to get away from the mafia as soon as they could. Yeah, but I'm kind of like a mafia whore. I'm like, down for the count. After this, I'm like really gonna go hit it hard with fucking Yang. I'm gonna be like right into the jumping straight into the pits of hell. It's gonna be great. Leo's like, my God, you might need therapy. I know. I love this game so much. What Leo was saying was right. Back then, I used to dream every day of going back to the church. But yesterday, you refused Nicola's order for you to go back to the church. So I was curious why. Okay, so it's only been a day. I thought it had been like a couple days. I smiled and answered Leo's question. It'd be easy if I could just go back to the church and live like before. I'm sure things would be lovely and everything would return to normal for me. Well, then why would... I want to be with Nicola. I don't want to leave him. It's because I love Nicola. I wasn't going to hide my feelings. I looked at Leo and said what I truly felt inside. He knows that too, because we told him. Leo's like, what? Leo's eyes widened in surprise. After a brief moment, he nodded. I see. Well, I'll do anything to help then. After all, Nicola needs you by his side now. Leo, I'm really sad that the boss is gone. It's frustrating. But I'm sure what Nicola feels inside is way more than what I'm going through. He's such a good boy. Don't look sad. Don't look sad, Leo. Don't give me that sad look. I would cry just from, he'd just look at me and be like, I'm just sad. Oh, why, sweetie? Why? Why are you sad? Because it's cloudy. Oh, no, poor baby. Leo's sad face is enough to make me cry. I just want to protect him, okay? He's such a good boy. The discomfort and anxiety I felt, Leo seemed to feel the same way. If there's anything you need, please feel free to let me know. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're the best boy, Leo. Here, let me get that for you. Leo quickly took the tray from my hands and headed to the kitchen. I quickly turned around after sensing someone was looking at me from behind. We admitted we loved him, but what's the matter? Did you forget something? Oh, I thought someone was behind us. I suppose it's just my imagination. Well, with what you've been through, Maybe you're tired or something. Please don't push yourself too hard. I think you're right. Thank you. At first, for a hot second, I was like, oh, he's going to be so angry and jealous because we're talking to Leo. But it's like, but if he overheard us, he knows we're talking about how much we love him and need to be here with him. So he shouldn't be jealous of that. You know what I mean? I still think he's going to shove us away, because of this. But anyway, I think you're right. Thank you. I don't know if I read that. I replied with gratitude at Leo's genuine concern about my well-being. Leo's right. Maybe I'm just a nervous wreck right now. These past few days, so many things have happened to us. But Nicola must be going through far more than anyone here. I was more concerned about him than I was about myself. I'm really concerned about how he stood there, but they had the shadow over his eyes. Oh God, that doesn't bode well. Is he gonna kill us? I don't like that. Dante's funeral ended quietly. Ah, Christ. And it's raining. Of course it's gonna fucking rain. The sky was getting cloudy with the drizzle as we finished burying his coffin. Oh. It was like heaven was crying for Dante. It's a goddamn game. Just a few years ago, the people of Felce mourned the loss of the previous Falzone boss. Oh God, no, no, no. Oh, sweet Jesus. You can't do this to me. He's so fucking beautiful in his sadness. And the rain. He could have been just staring off into space and just the rain on him would have been gorgeous. And then you do this and it's sad. Oh. Oh God, the CG hurts, but it's so pretty. Oh. Nicola. He was now the Falzone's boss. And he looks so gorgeous in that suit, but it's like a funeral. Oh my God, I'm so sad. As boss, he handled the arrangements and gave a speech to urge his men on. Nicola's acting the way he used to before. No different from when Dante was alive. But after the funeral ended and the attendees left the graveyard, Nicola froze as if the strings moving him had snapped. If he starts to say anything, I might break. I don't think I can handle him being sad. I didn't think I could barely handle Julia. He stood there under the rain. Nicola, we should get going too. You're gonna catch a cold like that. My words didn't reach him. His jade eyes were staring blankly at the tombstone. Nicola, after calling his name out a number of times, he finally spoke with quivering lips. Space, are you there? His voice was so weak and frail. I held back my tears, hearing his voice so full of sorrow. Yes, I'm here. I'm right here next to you, Nicola. My words resonated in his heart. Nicola lifted his head and looked at me. I'm scared. His voice was shaking. Oh my God. If you can actually watch the CGs and play them back with voice I'm not going to be able to handle this one with voice acting. I know I'm not going to. I'm losing someone so precious. It's my fault. Dante died because of me. Nicola, please. Please don't. I'm scared I'm going to lose you too. I'll always be by your side. I promise I'll never leave. So please, let's go home. Together. Amidst the rain, I did my best to express my feelings to his hardened soul. Soon, he slowly began to move. Let's go. Okay, because I can't handle that CG anymore. It's too beautiful. And sad. He then grabbed hold of me and buried his face into my shoulder. His body was cold from the rain. I gently cradled his weak shoulders. I prayed in silence that Nicola's soul would be saved. And you didn't think a tragic ending can get any more tragic, but it's gonna go. We still have a whole fucking chapter left. This one chapter in the bad ending was longer than the good ending completely. I mean, this game has so much, honestly, all of Dante's endings were super long, and I was like, damn, this game has so much! And then Nicola's good ending was like, oh, that ended pretty fast. Okay, well, I guess maybe it's only Dante's. No, because here's his fucking tragic ending is gonna take, we're gonna have 2 parts just for the tragic ending, the bad endings, Because we have to finish this. We have the side story, and then we have the 2 other endings. So, we have a lot to do. There's no way we're getting through it in another 20 minutes, so. Damn. I am just impressed with this game. Good. Looks like I've covered the second floor hall. I've been helping Julia with the cleaning with how much time I had on hand. Capo, which is boss in Italian. That I know. The louse shoe has been quiet recently. It doesn't seem like they're making any progress. Huh. I guess they're happy with what they've accomplished already. Sensing something from my words, Orlok quietly looked away. The Visconti took a massive hit. I think it's about time. We did put them through the ringer, though I wish we could have gone after the louse shoe first. But they did pick a fight with us. You killed their boss. It's only natural for them to retaliate. Not that it matters anymore. I'll finish them off soon. Nicola, you and the Falzone family don't have a very good reputation at the moment. Many still think you betrayed the Falzone, and now people think you betrayed the Visconti to gain the boss's seat. I'll let them say what they want to say. Is there anything else? Like, Nicolo's actually one of, like, the most caring people. Like, I've got to do this. I got to do all the betrayal and all this shit. Sacrifice myself and my reputation and everything to save Dante. And now he's like, fuck everyone. Now he's like a stone cold bitch. Like, he's up there with Yang as, like, who's the most evil? But, like, I don't think Nicola would kill his men just to get his ways. Yang absolutely would. I mean, you're going to put them in the line of fire, yeah, but they're different than supposed to, like, you piss me off, I'm just going to kill you. Yang would do it, because he doesn't give a shit, but Nicola's a little bit better. But, like, right now, they're, like, head-to-head with, like, being assholes. It's quite amazing. In the town seeing more dead bodies by the day. I can't investigate every instance, but from what I've seen, I don't think there have been any Mafia deaths since Dante Falzone's passing. Good to hear. It's nice to know there's one less thing to worry about. And a Berlone officer has gone missing. Roberto De Feo. Oh? It seems Roberto was connected with the louse shoe. I assume he ran or was killed by them. Or killed by someone else. Who knows? He made a share of enemies and didn't exactly endear himself to the Mafia either. For all we know, he could be fish food in the Adriatic. Well, not that I care about him. I see. Honestly, he's probably the one that actually killed Dante, so you should care about him, but... Orlok began to look around the room uncomfortably. What's the matter, Orlok? Nicola, this room... this is the office the former bosses have been using, and now it's mine. I'd only let him into the manor a few times before, and even then, only as far as the garden. Perhaps being in here was making him uncomfortable. I'm curious. I've been helping Julia with the cleaning, with how much time I had on hand. I'd lived life here not much different from the way it was before. The only difference is that the men are never around, and Dante's no longer with us. Such happy music in the background. The music is fucking great in this. I want to get the soundtrack, but there's actually like 3 songs missing, and I'm not sure which ones they are. Because on the CD, the back of the case, it's all in, like, most of it's in Japanese, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to translate this to be able to figure out in this menu which 3 are missing and, like, listen to them. But I haven't figured out if you can go into the menu. Well, you can go in the menu and just play a song, and then there is a repeat all. So you'd think it would loop through, but I've never let it go and just see if it, when one track ends, it goes to the next one. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it's like, I'll just keep the... just keep the thing in my Switch and... Like, alright, I'll just keep the... Yeah, keep the case, I mean the game cartridge in my Switch, because I don't have the digital version, I have the hard copy version. Having the digital version would have been better, but I wanted the cards that came in the case. Anyway. It had been 2 weeks since Dante's funeral. I turned around, hearing a familiar voice. It seemed it was coming from Nicola's office. A young man stepped out. Buongiorno, Orlok. Orlok seemed tense. He simply nodded without saying a word. How's Nicola? It was a strange question to ask, but Orlok must have noticed my hesitance and replied to my question. Yeah, there's no other choices in this. Nicola changed. I'm unsure of the degree. Perhaps he was like this before. Orlok looked at the door to the office with a concerned look on his face. I'm simply an informant. All I do is sell information. That's all I can do, and beyond that, nothing. I'm not allowed to do anything else. With that, he bowed to signal his departure, and walked away. As he left, I watched his lonely back and held that odd feeling inside me. Later in the evening, as I was cleaning up, one of the men came into the salon.
Good grief, feels like ages since I've been here.
Welcome back.
Hey, little lady, doing some cleaning?
Why, yes, it seems you're all quite busy. I can at least do my best to make the place comfortable when you return.
That's mighty nice to hear. Does feel nice when the place is clean.
I'm glad to hear it.
These days I've been running around without much sleep recently. When I get a day off, I'm gonna ask you to bake some more of those delicious sweets.
He sunk his tired body into the chair and closed his eyes as if enjoying the old days.
It's not only me. Domenico would have loved to have your cannoli, too.
Speaking of cannoli, I got one in my fridge.
Yes, I do. I wish he was still around.
Yes, I wish he was too. I wanted to see him enjoy my baking. I vividly remembered when I heard he was going to be released. Afterwards, I was abducted by Nicola from the Falzone Manor. I haven't made any cannoli since then.
If you don't mind, next time I'm here, can you make some cannoli? Just to let you in on my secret, I'm also a fan of your dolce.
He winked at me with a playful smile on his face. I'm so happy to hear that. I'll make the best cannoli I can.
You've made my day.
I felt a bit better seeing his bright smile and hearing his joyful laughter. I couldn't be happier knowing what I did could make others smile. Say... I jumped at the sudden voice calling out from behind me. Is he jealous? He looks jealous. The look on his face is like pissed that somebody's being friendly to us. Nicola, since when? Instead of replying to me, he stared coldly at the person sitting in front of me. I'm surprised to see you have the time to relax like this. The Falzones still have a lot to take care of, you know.
Sorry, boss. I'll get back to work.
He quickly bowed and exited the salon in a hurry. Nicola... He just came back a moment ago after working a long time. He even said he hasn't any time to sleep, so he's just resting for a minute. He wasn't sitting idly... Oh? Well, if he wasn't sitting here idly, what was that conversation about? Well, true, we weren't talking about work, but... I tried my best to make an excuse as he looked at me with those cold eyes of his. It's my fault. He just wanted to cheer me up. It was only for a moment. So please don't be too harsh on him. The more I spoke, the harsher his expression became. He's jealous. Oh, God. Nicola, I only love you. I love Dante a little, and Yang. I mean, I'm gonna love all of you, but like, right now, it's all about you. Unable to say anything more, I fell silent. I sighed slightly, when all of a sudden... Nicola forcefully grabbed my arm. I thought he slapped me, and I was like, whoa, what? What? What is it? Without a single word, he simply dragged me out of the salon. Stop! Nicola! Let me go! I tried to snap him out of his unusual state as he kept a tight grip on my arm. Nicola didn't even look at me. Is he throwing me out? Oh no, okay. I was like, oh my god. He kept dragging me along quietly until we reached his office. What's going on with you? I finally snapped from his refusal to talk and questioned him in a strong voice. His grip on me began to weaken. I held my breath and quickly forced my arm away from his hold. Why are you doing this? I looked straight at him. He didn't flinch and quietly locked the door, staring at me with a blank look on his face. Uh-oh. You said you'd be with me. Oh, he's so beautiful. And now he's snapped and he's crazy. Nicola's words jogged my memory. I recalled what I said at Dante's funeral. Yes? Well, yes, I did say that, but that's why I'm still here and haven't returned to the church. I'd stood by my words. At least, that's what I thought. Yet Nicola gave an eerie smile and pulled me into his arms. Oh, he's overworked himself and needs... Oh! Sweetie, this is not how this is supposed to go. It's supposed to be Yang's route that what this happens in. You don't understand a thing, do you? No! I was getting a bad feeling about this, especially in this locked room. I instinctively tried to break myself loose, but his arm wasn't letting go at all. Nicola then squeezed me more tightly to stop me from resisting. Stop! Nicola! You love me, right? And that's why you're with me, right? Not like this, Nicola. Oh, God. The way he questioned me was making me doubt his sanity. He's right that I love him, but he's starting to scare me. Why the silence? Oh, I see. You don't like me anymore. That's not... Don't worry. It's fine if you don't like me. The results won't change. He forcefully pulled down my blouse collar, exposing my skin to the cold air. Unable to speak through shaking lips, I stood frozen as he whispered into my ear. You promised you'd be with me. It's your responsibility to follow through. Oh, I love you, Nicola, but not like this. You do know that a promise is binding, right, Spacey? Please, stop! His moist lips touched my exposed skin, and he slowly ran them down the mark on my chest. I tried my best to push him back, but to no avail. You're my only... I need... Nicola... His eyes were filling with tears. He was looking at me with a sense of suffering in his eyes. If I refuse him now, his mind is going to break. He wouldn't smile at me like he did before. Suddenly, my strength left my arms and legs. Giving up. Clever girl. As long as you behave, I'll be as nice and kind to you as ever. I mean, it's really weird because you're basically like, I'll be nice to you if you behave and do what I want. And it's just a little weird and creepy, but at the same time, you're like, but I love you. And I realize that you're going through a stressful time. And I'm making the choice to be like, all right, I'm just going to take it because okay. Like, not that you should, but I'm just saying we're making a choice here. But he's making it... It's just a very odd situation. My body shook seeing his cold eyes. But I needed to accept him. I needed to accept his despair and sorrow in order to heal him. I want to protect him. I slowly and carefully reached my hands out, and then... He slowly wrapped his arms around my back. Didn't think that's how the sex was going to go in this, did you? Another day passed without returning to the church. I didn't regret accepting Nicola back then, but I still didn't know if that was the right thing to do. That should do it. Now that I'm done cleaning the garden, I decided to head back to the salon. It seemed like Nicola and the family were all gathered together for some kind of meeting. And thank you for the report. So based on the information Leo brought back to us, we'll take action against the Lao Shu in 3 days. Yeah, I believe we can get everything ready within 2 days for sure. This is an important mission, so I agree that we should spend the time to prepare. I interrupted their meeting. Would anyone like something to drink? Nicola looked at me and smiled gently. We're fine. Why don't you have a seat? We have good news. I wasn't sure what it was about, but I followed Nicola's beckoning hand and sat next to him. I'm sure you're gonna like this. Most of our enemies are gone. Enemies? You mean the Falzone families? Yes, we still have the Lao Shu to handle, but the Visconti are gone for good. I could deduce something important was being discussed among them, but hearing him say that the Visconti were all gone was still shocking. Feels like just yesterday. Despite my short stay there, I did get along with a number of them. Oh, that means they killed Oliver too, didn't they? I'm like, I know I should feel sadder that, like, Gil and Oliver and everybody are gone, and it's like, oh. I feel sad about Dante because Nicola just looking so sad and everybody being sad about it, but we're like, right, Gil's dead too. And the Visconti was too reliant on their boss. With Gilbert gone, finishing them off wasn't much of a challenge. If he tells me I can go back to the church, I'm gonna fucking nut punch him. Leo nodded in agreement with Nicola. I mean, I don't think he would, because he needed us there and like whatever, but I feel like that's gonna be the shoe that drops. He's gonna be like, you can go back to the church! So what, you just get all molesty with me and then I can go back to the church, bitch? Are you fucking kidding? I will fucking kill you. I learned some shit hanging out with the Mafia. I had a chance to go up against them. They were all so over the place.
They were so all over the place, it was easy pickings. Leo, you were supposed to be innocent. You didn't like killing and torture. Well, you didn't like torture anyway. Feeling conflicting emotions, I asked a question to Nicola. What's going to happen to Krita? With the Visconti gone, I suspect the area is going to fall into turmoil. And they don't see us in a good light either, but it'll only be for a moment. The foul zone will rule over all of Berlone, just like before. I see. Yeah, and that means peace for everyone. After all, everyone Nicola's targeted is gone now. And those who weren't committed have also left us in the town too. It seemed they were telling me this to help ease my worries. I'm happy there wasn't anyone left to go after Nicola, but I glanced over to my side. Nicola was sitting there like nothing had changed. He's lost his fucking mind. I didn't feel good at all. Night arrived. I changed into my sleepwear and slid into bed when... Uh-oh. I already knew who it was who knocked on the door. I wasn't sure if I should go and open the door to let him in. Can I trust you? You have to. The knocking continued in a hurry. I didn't have much time to think. I stood in front of the door, closed my eyes, and took a deep breath. I slowly turned the doorknob. He's like knocking on the door. You're like, what are you going to do? He's going to bust it open. The person in front of me smiled gently. Buonasera, Space. Mind if I come in? Nicola was smiling, but his eyes said otherwise. Oh, he's so angry. You'd think he'd be gentler and nicer to me because I'm here for him, but he's kind of taken out his anger on us, and it's a little weird. I quietly let Nicola into my room. That's what's tragic about it. It's not like Dante's gone and you're like sad and I'm trying to help you and you're being nice, sweet to me. It's the fact that you're treating me differently, and that's what happened to Nicola. He's so broken. I chose to accept all that he does. I can't change things now. At this point, I doubt he would let me leave anyway. This is preparing us for what's going to happen in Yang's route. And I don't want to hurt Nicola anymore. He came inside and closed the door. As usual, he locked the door behind him. Yeah, wow. The day we were to attack the Lao Shu arrived. Everyone had left the manor already. I cleaned the hallway in a daze. Couldn't seem to concentrate. Phew! Maybe he's gonna die in this ending, like... How many times have I sighed already? The entrance was getting a bit noisy, although it would be almost more tragic if he didn't. Because if he did, you'd be like, you know what, it's probably better that way. But that would also be tragic because Yang would then be taking over everything and you'd be like, well, we're fucked. But if Nicola wins, you'd be like, yeah, I don't think that's gonna fix your broken brain. Like, you're still gonna, oh god, so. The entrance was getting a bit noisy. Is he back? I hurriedly put the cleaning tools away and went down to the salon. Nicola was nowhere to be found. According to Leo, he seemed to go straight into his office upon arrival. Hearing that, my shoulders dropped. But I quickly regained my composure and head to his office. With how often and cold he is, and like, granted, when he comes to her room, it's not like, oh god, you're like, oh, okay. It's not like he's being rapey, you know, where you're like, you're in love with him, he comes to your room, but it's like you used to be nice and sweet, and that's the person I love, and I still love you, and I know you're damaged and you're upset, but like, yeah, this isn't my favorite, like, you know, you're like, I mean, okay. You're like, I miss the nice you. Are you going to get over this soon? Like, but it's funny because then she's like, I want him to come up. You think she'd be like, you know, I don't need to see him. It's fine. But she's not. She still loves him. Still love him even while he's like going through some shit. Welcome back, Nicola. Seeing me jump into his room without knocking, his eyes narrowed. And then he gave a gentle smile. He's like, how dare you? You just never know. Yeah, I'm back. I'm glad you returned safely. Perfect timing. I was actually about to go and look for you. I smiled with relief. Nicholas seemed happier than usual. The siege on the Lao Shu was successful. Nicholas' vengeance should be over. Oh, he had hardly any casualties. and just a few guys with bumps on their heads. I see, but Yang escaped. Yang's escape meant that Nicola's revenge wasn't over yet. Anxiety washed over me, but Nicola didn't seem fazed at all. He was still smiling quite pleasantly. I wish I could have shown you how beautifully those rats' nests burned. Huh? The wharf and roads are all blocked. There's only one way out of Berlin, and the forest is inhabited by wolves. He can run as he pleases, but it won't be long until we nab him for good. I sensed a shadow of madness in Nicola, seeing his smile warp eerily. Burning the rat's nest. If I'm not mistaken, the Laoshu's headquarters was in the middle of Veleno. If he really set fire to their headquarters, what happened to Veleno? Just imagining what may have happened made me squirm. Yeah, because, like, they used to actually care about the people, and now he's just, like, he's mad with vengeance. Like, Space? Is there a problem? Nicola tilted his head in confusion. I forced myself to speak. This beautiful, crazy bastard. Seeing you talk so happily about killing others makes me sad. And you hate me for it? Nicola. He closed his eyes in concern, then embraced me as if pleading for help. No. Oh, no. I don't kill people because I want to. Hold on a second. I think we get 2 CGs in this. So, interesting. We still haven't gotten our second CG, I don't think. I think with that one, we just got the rain one, right? Did we get another one? I don't remember. Anyway. And the Laoshu killed Dante. We lost our boss because of them. Dante's soul can't be saved without their deaths. She's like, I don't think this is how it works. She's like, I'm pretty sure I spent most of my life in church, and I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. I'm like, it's all the Laoshu's fault, and they left proof behind. I wouldn't do this without any proof. Nicola's words triggered something in my mind. It bothered me for a long while, but only a single bullet was used to prove that Dante was killed by the Laoshu. Was that really enough to call proof? Yes, the Laoshu used weapons with that type of bullet, but would they have used their usual weapons in assassinations that needed to be covered up? I wonder, did the Laoshu really kill Dante? No. The thought swirled around in my mind. Space, will you stay with me? You won't leave me, will you? Nicola asked me sweetly. I stopped thinking. I gently wrapped my arms around Nicola's back. Yes, I'll always be with you. If I let my hands go, I was the only one who got to see the family's boss showing his weakness. I need to support him. Nicola's suffering more than anyone else. I mean, I definitely think he's suffering. And I definitely think there is like a fear in him, like, oh my god, you're going to leave me, right? It's part of the craziness in him. But I also think he's slightly manipulating us. Like, there's a lot going on here. Ooh. I feel like this should be the end of our bad, but we still have to do other bad endings, and we're a little over time. I'm going to stop here. What's going to happen is when we start the next part, this will take like 2-3 minutes, and we could have absolutely done it in this. But if I do it now, it'll be like 30 minutes later, and I'll be like, we're still going. So I'm going to stop here. We will finish up the tragic bad ending. We'll do our other 2 bad endings, which will probably be a little bit shorter. And then we'll do the after ending kind of thing in the main menu for the bad ending. So hopefully we can fit that all in one part, but we'll see. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.